So this is a slightly different video. It's more of an update on where the channel is at the moment. There is a funny story at the end, so if you'd like to skip straight to that, you can do so here. Otherwise, we're just going to be talking about where the channel's at right now. Okay, Brad, for the people at home, tell them where we are with the channel right now.
So, in terms of views, since we started the channel, the lifetime of the channel is from April to now.
So that's about 6 months, yeah?
That's
not
six
bad.
months.
Okay, what we got?
We have 176,000 views.
That's fucking awesome. Pretty sure there's cat videos where they fall down the stairs and like some dude laughs at them. They've got more views than that.
Probably 10 times more views than
Probably,
that.
yeah. I should be honest, I don't even know why I use that comparison. That video would decimate our views. That would fucking crush it. That would be awesome. Go watch that video instead of this one. Anyway, 176,000 views. What was that translated to in watch time?
In watch time, it was something like 1,100,000 minutes.
That's a lot of minutes. Do we know what that is in weeks or months? Have you worked that out?
Well, it translates into years. It's 2 years and 1 month.
2 years? 1 month. People have been watching our videos for 2 years. We've had a captive audience for 2 fucking years.
Obviously accumulated over the 6 months.
Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a time I played a lot of Halo 3. And when you die in Halo 3, you have a 5-second respawn time. There's a website where it lets you work out how long you spent looking at the respawn screen. And I played so much Halo that when I looked at it, it said I spent a week respawning. So I spent a week of my life staring at a screen of my character in a video game dead on the floor getting teabagged.
Anyway, let's not get sidetracked.
So how many videos have we got?
We got about 90 videos, depending on when this goes up, about 90 videos.
And how much money have we made? Here's the $1 million question.
Okay, so in our 6 months since we started,
yes,
including the time when we weren't monetized,
so drum roll please, we've made
£185.
Fuck! £180, 90 videos, 2 of us, that's £1 each per video we've made. Wow. And how long, Brad, does it take you to make one of these videos that go up? Not this one, obviously, but our regular videos.
So the time I put in, we both spend about 40 minutes filming.
Yeah, so 40 minutes filming. So we call it an hour because we dick around for 20 minutes beforehand.
Yeah. And then I spend, if we don't include the render time, which is 3 or 4 hours, but I tend to do that overnight.
Yeah.
The time from when it gets onto the computer to when I finish the video, maybe about 6 hours.
6 hours. 7 so far. And I take about 2.5 hours writing, researching, and making videos. That's about 10 hours, we'll call that. We'll round it up. Yeah. So we earn about 10p per hour making these videos. I'm almost positive that Ivanka Trump pays the people in the sweatshops making her clothes more than that an hour. That's a topical joke there. It's topical because she's always going to be a horrible person. It doesn't matter when you watch this video. We're not saying this to make people feel sorry for us. We're just saying it to let people know that's where we're at. I think the only money we have made, we spent it on beer because fuck it, we wanted a drink to celebrate. And
equipment.
You bought a microphone, yes.
We got a mic and we got the charger.
And we got the charger for the camera so it won't die on us, which happened quite a lot. The thing, me and Brad knew this. We knew that when we started this channel, it wouldn't make all that much money at first. Brad has been putting in like 18 hours a week on top of like the 25 to 30 hours he puts in his real world job. So I'm very thankful for that. The problem is, what's it called?
Adpocalypse.
Adpocalypse, yeah. What an awesome name for something that's actively fucking people over. And all I know is that a couple of days ago, a random bunch of our videos just got flagged by YouTube and got demonetized. We're not sure why. Our current running theory is that we suddenly became just enough of a blip on YouTube's radar that it decided to slap us down because we got to about 5,000 subscribers. So congratulations us! Our 5,000 subscriber special is us telling the audience we might not be able to continue making videos. Isn't that great? What a great platform for creative people, YouTube. Excellent. So we do enjoy making these, and I fucking love the idea that I get to tell people so, because I'll be doing it anyway, but it's just nice to have an audience for it. The problem is, we've got no clue what the future of the channel is going to be now, do we? Obviously, at my job, I quite like my job, and I can take as much free time off as I need. I set my own schedule. You don't. You've got corporate overlords to please. So that puts you in a really precarious position. So this video is basically us telling you we are fucked. And we don't know what to do about it, and we'd quite like a suggestion.
Yeah, we want suggestions or ideas as to alternatives to this so that we can continue doing the videos.
You know, I love making these videos. I'm not going to stop.
I love making them.
The problem is, we might have to drop down to like maybe 1 a week. So you need to work, you need to earn a living.
But then if we drop down that, then we'll never grow the channel. That's
exactly,
the
and like, there's the catch-22.
So what we have been doing, if you want to go into it, is looking at alternatives.
Yes, we have. We looked at Patreon. I fucking hate Patreon, so we're probably not going to do that.
I think you should probably explain just quickly why you don't like Patreon.
Well, I don't like Patreon because I don't like the obligation that you have to put out content that's locked behind a paywall. for fans. Even though those fans are people who are willingly paying money for that content, I don't really want to be beholden to that. I like having creative control over everything we do. It's something we've looked into, but we're not really sure if it's for us. What else we looked at? We looked at doing a podcast, maybe. Yeah. Because we talk about a bunch of bullshit anyway. Maybe do that. Maybe get some sponsors for that.
For a while, we've been talking about Twitch.
Twitch, yeah, that's another one we're going to do, because I play games all the time anyway. And we did do some drunk gaming a couple of months ago. That was really fun.
It was the launch of the channel.
Yes, it was. We launched the channel when we never mentioned the channel at all. That was a really good laugh. So we're thinking about doing that again and maybe getting a tip jar system. That's apparently something you can do. I'm much more comfortable, don't know about you, with the idea of being given a tip and having a tip jar. People saying, oh, I think you're funny, here is some money. Because I've worked in restaurants and I've worked in bars and I've done like champagne service for like super big wig ballers. I'm personally more comfortable with the guy saying, oh, you've done a really good job, here's a bit of money. If that same guy came up to me and says, well, you work really hard, I really like the work you're doing, here's a £5. I'll be back next month to see if you've been doing the same. I'll give you another £5 then. I find that super uncomfortable.
That's your employer.
Yeah, well that's what you'd be, that's what patrons would be, in my head anyway, that's my interpretation of it. So I'd be really uncomfortable. The way I put it in my head is, I used to work in a restaurant and we had this couple of women who came in, like probably once or twice a week, and always ordered the same drinks order, and they gave me a £1 tip, because I think the drinks order came to about £4 and just give me a £5. The problem I had is eventually those women started coming in and just walking to the front of the queue. Like if I'd been making a drink, they'd walk up and they'd say, we like our order please, and go sit down. Because they're giving me this money and they're giving me it every single time. There's an obligation for me there to serve these people before I serve the people who are just coming in to get a drink. And if you think of that analogy as like being like YouTube, the people who send us money on Patreon, I'd feel like, well, we should definitely make our content to cater to these people first before what will be the much larger audience on YouTube. I think in my head it's just the idea of someone giving you money, even if the expectation isn't there for you to provide something for them, in my head it is.
Well, a tip is a reward for doing something.
Yeah.
A subscription is an expectation.
To receive more of the same thing in the future, and I don't want that. I don't want that looming over me.
We have talked about setting a Patreon up and just leaving it there if people want to. But then it's the same principle. People will be like, why aren't you offering anything?
And would those people feel ripped off?
Yeah. I mean, if people wanted to donate something per month, but then you'd have to make it clear that they'd have to be able to like cancel it if you're not enjoying the content, because that's the way it works.
But then people are saying, well, you're being a bit of a cunt, because everyone else who does this does this. So it's, again, catch-22. And then another thing we thought about is advertising. But the problem is, I keep telling every advertiser who contacts us to fuck off.
Yeah, it's not very conducive when you're trying to make money.
It's not, is it? So, who do we get contacts from? You got an email.
It was some weird advertiser who wanted us to join their like agency.
Yeah, they wanted to join their agency, and they'd put us in contact with advertisers, and they'd send us products and ad copy to read. Yeah. And I told Brad to tell them to fuck off via the official Fact Fiend website email thing we set up. And he said, no, Karl, that's not very professional. So then I told him to forward that email to my personal email address, and I told them to fuck off. So I researched their company and found out they just take like 10% of your earnings, regardless of whether these advertisers pay you based on how much views you get. So I sent an email saying, oh, I'm really interested in your product, but I'd really like to know more about you, because I always want to get to know someone before they fuck me in the ass. And the guy, to his credit as a salesman, emailed me back. But then when I told them that I told them I don't want to read out ad copy. I'll never read out ad copy, and I will only advertise products I personally believe in. It's like, this can't work, which is kind of depressing. Someone trying to basically exercise the most basic amount of creative control is like an advertiser going, no. I want to point out, I have no problem with advertising. If you're a YouTuber watching this and you advertise, that's fine. My problem is when they advertise a product, they clearly don't give the slightest hint of a fuck about. When you can see it, and you'll notice this, because I do, the entire register of their voice changes and their demeanour shifts when they start advertising. They go into YouTuber mode, as I like to call it. It's the same thing they do, and they go, hi guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Why not leave a like or a comment below? They'll just drop their entire facade, their personalities, the thing people watch their videos for, and just read out this ad copy. And you can see part of their soul eroding away as their glassy stare goes straight through the camera as they're doing this. It's the same view I imagine prostitutes have when they get fucked by someone they're not attracted to. You're doing something you don't want to do for money.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. One of my favourite examples is Johnny Rotten, the lead singer of the Sex Pistols, because he got shit on when he started advertising Lurpak butter or something like that. And he came out and someone said, oh, you're a sellout. You used to be punk rock. Why are you advertising a butter company? He went, because I eat butter. And I eat butter on my toast every day. It's a good product. I've got no problem with advertisers that I use every day. It's like, you know what, Johnny Rotten? Fucking too right. Another problem is like companies, they're so skittish. And that's what I have the problem with. Like, just have the balls for your product to stand on its own. I understand if they don't want a video attached to someone screaming racial slurs and things like that. But when it's a person, it's me, I'm just talking with my natural tone of voice, but they wouldn't want to advertise, because I swear. My problem is when people read out ad copying videos and stuff or do sponsorship, it just grinds to a halt. Because you can tell they don't want to do it and they're just reading from a script where they have to mention these specific words. So let's do an ad for this bottle of Coca-Cola we had lying around. I'm going to do one like Coca-Cola would want me to do, and one how I'd actually advertise, and you can see the difference. So in today's video, guys, it's been sponsored by Coca-Cola, #Taste the Feeling. And they'd just like me to let you guys know that the Coca-Cola range of products is expansive and perfect for the young person on the go. And I think we can both agree about that. Coca-Cola is very delicious, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, it is, oh yes. I'm going to drink some of this warm Coca-Cola right now with the label directly to camera.
Can't stop feeling the taste of feeling.
That's the kind of thing you get from a company. Like, you have to mention the brand, you have to keep the logo on screen, you have to mention our tagline, don't swear. When in reality, I would much rather advertise it like this. So Brad, an executive of Coca-Cola, has finally realised that there's a gap in their market and it's the exact same shape as our audience. Because they sponsored us to advertise their products. You know, this globally recognised brand that every fucker in the world knows, they want us to advertise it to our audience. You people watching at home, you are the last holdouts of the Coke empire, apparently.
Have they done this because Coke's your favourite drink?
I don't know. I drink some Coke, I guess. You know, you wouldn't be able to say that if this was a proper video.
You'd have to say, I love all Coke.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be able to say that I actually prefer Pepsi Max. But I understand that some people like Coca-Cola. And as well, I highly recommend Diet Coke and vodka, which I wouldn't be able to recommend in a video actually sponsored by Coke, because they don't want to associate with alcohol or drinking. Because if it was a real video, I would be putting a fucking vodka in this and down in it, but they won't let you do that. And that's the problem I have. Advertisers are like, oh no, they're so skittish, we can't have someone being naughty in our videos. I studied a lot of advertising in university when I did marketing as part of my media course. And you know the absolute #1 thing that encourages people to try a product? Word of mouth. Word of mouth is the #1 thing that encourages people to try something. Like, all other forms of advertising suck dick compared to word of mouth. This is why advertisers are so keen to get onto YouTube, because just attaching a face that people recognise to a brand automatically makes people feel more favourably towards it. And I dislike the fact they won't go the whole hog and let that person be themselves while advertising. They have to fall in line with their corporate ideology. Some of them are so skittish and they're so scared of someone saying bad stuff about them that they'll try and stifle all criticism. So if you are an advertiser and you want to advertise on this channel and you don't mind me swearing or even potentially saying your product sucks a bunch of dick, why not get in contact? Since I tend to go off on one quite a bit, do you want to just sum up what our options are for the audience at home?
So option #1 is keep doing what we're doing and hope, fingers crossed,
that
one of the videos goes viral or that we manage to get a huge boost in followers and end up making enough money from our demonetised videos.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a solid plan for the future. That's like buying lottery tickets to get yourself out of debt. It's ridiculous. So basically planning on chance, as you put it.
Yep.
Which is obviously not ideal and not a sustainable way to run any business or any creative endeavour as this were.
Option #2 is to find a way to use Patreon that
I don't fucking hate and want to shit on every time we mention it, okay? Option 3.
We can do podcasts.
Maybe, try and get sponsors for that. But that folds into the problem of, it's the same problem we have trying to get advertisers, where no one really wants to advertise with someone who absolutely refuses to relinquish any creative control whatsoever.
What we'd have to do is we'd have to contact companies that we like and say, we like your product, so we'd be nice to it.
We can go through a couple of products that I support.
In hope that one of them is going to get in contact.
HEINZ baked beans.
Oh, God,
any baked beans company, I'd be happy
You
to
and your
sponsor them.
dad should promote beans.
Monster Energy, specifically Monster Ultra. I drink that a lot.
Is that the orange one?
No, that's the white can. That's got all the bumps on it, so it feels expensive.
Oh, God.
But I would say, like, I love this. It's great when I've got a hangover, and I don't get the energy to force out a shit. They wouldn't want me to say that on a video. But that's what I'd want to say. 'Cause obviously,
a monster shit going on.
Because I would insist on having creative control over everything that goes in the video. And that's the thing a lot of advertisers don't want. So that's a problem we have, and I don't really know how to address that. So our fourth option is the one we're going to do anyway, which is
Twitch streaming.
Twitch streaming. So we can set up a tip jar because I'm much more comfortable taking tips and I'm a monthly subscription. Even though you can subscribe on Twitch, I think. Let us know in the comments. We don't actually know. We've only done it once so far, and I got super hammered playing Skyrim, which is apparently something I'm very good at. Because I don't know if people watching know this, but chances are, before you even started watching these videos, if you never read a single one of my articles, you probably know who I am. Because I'm the drunk Skyrim guy. If that tickles something in the back of your head right here, it's probably because you've seen one of these images. That's from a drunken Skyrim session I did when I lived with Brad, in fact, about 3 years ago, was it?
About 3 years, yeah.
I got super hammered and you came in from work and found me drunk tweeting a Skyrim play session when I was trying to carry a cabbage up a mountain.
You were sat on the floor, surrounded by bottles, and playing Skyrim. I think I stuck around with you for about 10, 15 minutes, and then was like, he's too drunk.
And then fucked off.
Yeah.
So I did that, and for some reason, people found it fucking hilarious. I put it on Tumblr, and then from Tumblr, someone took it from there. I didn't do it, someone else did. Put it on Imgur, and then it went on to Reddit, and then when it's on Reddit, it goes to every other website, 9gag, with their watermark on it for some reason, and just republish that entire exchange, and periodically, every couple of months, it comes back. So that's the second most popular thing I've ever written, and I've been writing for 5 years and I've got articles with millions of views. I think Will Wheaton reblogged it twice, and I tweeted at him and said, oh wow, I did that, and he tweeted back saying it's one of the funniest things I've ever read. So Will Wheaton thinks I'm one of the funniest guys he's ever read something written by on the internet, which is, I guess, a great compliment. So chances are you've seen those images, and if you haven't, you've probably seen this one, because this is the second time this has happened to me, and Brad knows this, it pisses me off, because you're going to post the original version, which was my Facebook post, which was a joke from my stand-up that I put on Facebook and then put on Twitter. Someone blurred my face out, put it on Reddit, and it went viral. And I've never got credit for that, ever. The original version is still on my Twitter page. It's the very top thing so people know it's fucking me. And I think it's got like 1,000 retweets, which is a lot, but it's not compared to some of the people who've retweeted this blurred fucking version, stealing bullshit off like Reddit and that, and reposting that and getting thousands of retweets. This thing got so popular that people were sharing it on my Facebook timeline as something I would find funny. And this is true. I saw a page on Facebook share the blurred version, and when I commented on it saying, oh cool, that's me, here's a link to the actual version so I can get credit, the person in charge of that page sent me a message saying we don't allow self-promotion on our page. On a page that they built up stealing other people's content. The person whose content it was, all they asked for was recognition or any sort of credit for it, and they said, don't self-promote. And the worst part is, that's had millions of views as well. That's the most popular thing I've ever fucking written.
Yeah, that's been around so much.
I've seen it. It got millions of views on Imgur, it got millions of views on, it got millions on Imgur about 4 times, because it gets reposted every fucking couple of months. It's ridiculous.
Always the blurred version.
It's always the blurred version. It's never my version.
And that's the problem, because you're somebody who wants your name out there.
Yeah, I want my name out there, because imagine how many Twitter followers I'd have right now if the image that's had millions and millions of views had my name on it instead of my blurred fucking face.
The funniest response I always see to it in the comments as well is, you can't do that on Rollercoaster Tycoon.
Yeah, and do you know what? Right, let's address that right fucking now. I know that you can't do this in Rollercoaster Tycoon. And the problem is, I've tried to explain this so many times. If this had my face on it, I could have explained it in one go and everyone would know. Instead, I get periodically people telling me, I know it's not something you can do in Rollercoaster Tycoon. Years ago when I wrote that, I was still doing stand-up comedy. I wrote that as a thing I would say on stage, but I was set on video games. And my thinking was, it doesn't necessarily matter that it's not something you can do in the game, as long as people are familiar enough with the concepts of the game, where it seems in their head like something you could do. Which evidently, given how many times it's been shared, people do find it funny, even though it's not something you do in the game. I'm going to share something now that might shock a lot of people. Like comedians, sometimes they lie, or they embellish the truth, or massage reality to make it fit a narrative. And that's what I was doing with that joke. And the problem is, because it got shared so widely, I had to cut it from my stand-up routine. And this is, again, fucking true. I tried to tell that joke at a stand-up set a couple of weeks later, and someone yelled at me, you stole that off the internet. And I tried to tell them, well, actually, no, I wrote it. And they just went, no, you didn't. And that set, I fucking bombed that entire set. Because obviously when I tried to tell my next joke, that guy was just heckling me the entire time. And I never did stand up again after that, so it's not fucking worth it. Which is the funniest joke I've ever written, I'll never get any credit for it.
Yeah. I can understand now why you get so
That's why I get so
about
pissed.
it.
I've had people tell me to my face, you stole that off the internet. When they read it on a website that stole it from me and made money off it. So yeah, in case you needed proof, I'm pretty fucking funny when I play video games, so you should probably check out our Twitch stream when we do it, because I'm going to be doing it anyway. And we're going to be uploading a video of the stream I did.
Yeah, so when we first set this channel up, we were doing a Twitch stream to promote the channel.
That never went anywhere.
Yeah, and it was tagged as the Return of the Drunk Skyrim guy. But the thing was, we got a fair few views to it, but Karl got way too drunk, and we forgot to plug the channel.
Forgot to plug the channel.
And it ended with Karl screaming at the screen about how he didn't kill Lydia.
Even though I did, and I teabagged like 8 times.
So we're gonna put that up at some point.
That'll be a video we put up soon, and we will be streaming soon as well. We'll make a notification about that later.
Yeah, it'll be on your personal
I wanted to
YouTube
tell
channel.
that story so people know that I fucking know what I'm doing. When it comes to being stupid in video games, there's a precedent there that I'm pretty fucking funny. Also, yeah, thanks for watching these videos. I really do appreciate it. It's not anyone's fault except YouTube's that we're not making any money. But if you'd like to help this channel grow, take the original version of this image and post it all over your social media and say, this is the guy who did this. See, I just want that out there because I'm still bitter about it. And you know what? You can link to this video. You can timestamp it where I explain, I fucking know you can't do it in Rollercoaster Tycoon, you bunch of twats. Stop emailing me to tell me.